what a lot of younger scholars are writing about the women's movement, I don't recognize. Now, maybe, you know, it was so exciting, it was so wonderful, it was so transformative, I can't recognize myself. But on the other hand, we couldn't have been that awful, number one. And some of this, well, I know, you know, when you're quite often a graduate student, you're forced to write in such jargon. You know, if you don't sound like Judith Butler, you won't get published. But it doesn't convey, I use this over and over again, the transformative nature, the exhilaration, the fun. I mean, I love Alice Eccles, and I love her book, Daring to be Bad, but if you read Daring to be Bad, you think all we did was fight. And there was so much fun. An example, we put out mimeographed, if anybody can know what a mimea was, newsletter called Ain't I a Woman? And we had 10 cents for women and 15 cents for men, and then we wrote underneath, until there's equal pay. And when we would say to men, 15 cents, the women get a 10, the discussions were fabulous. It was, I mean, that was fun. And it did raise consciousness. When, I remember we leafleted a bridal fair one year in Seattle, and we didn't hand out leaflets to men. And it was just amazing to watch the reactions. Let's say you two walk in together. You know, we'd give it to you, and the man would say, oh no, I want it. We go, excuse me, it's for her. And sometimes the women go, yeah, it's for me. I mean, it was just a ball. I mean, you know, there is a sense of fun in changing the world. And I guess you can't, how do you capture that? Especially in a scholarly dissertation, of course. But I mean, there has to be a way to write about the history that gives you a sense, and then on a more serious vein, that even though the groups were predominantly white and college educated, this is not to say that they were consciously racist or exclusionary or wanted to be. Probably if we had time motion people studying the number of times we discussed how can we reach out to black women and so forth. And I'm sure the language we used, if somebody was ever taping it and I heard it, I go, oh my God, did I really say that? Oh, I'm going to jump out a window. But there was no language. And in a sense, and I think white women really learned from black women through their writing, through their anger, through their successes in organizing. And that was very important.